Hi everybody, Donna Irvin here today for my Big Tip Friday once again, and I can't believe it's almost the end of October. We're going to be starting November here in next week, which is crazy because that means Thanksgiving is just basically around the corner. And I know Halloween's coming up next week too, so we are on the road to the holidays, guys. Regardless if you're ready or not, it's coming fast. So anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about choosing a niche or a target market for your business. And last week, if you tuned in, I had actually talked about how stress can block up your mind. Um, and that's one thing that if you don't have that clarity, you're not going to even be able to get this far. So hopefully that helped you and at least getting a good start on getting your stress under control. And so today I'd really like to go into just a little bit of detail about choosing a niche for your business. A lot of people call it, like I said, a target market. You'll hear people saying that. And basically, if you're not familiar what a niche is, it's a specific group of people that are interested in a particular product, a service, or even a particular interest. So, for example, people that are interested in stress management, that is a niche. Dog training is a niche. How to show people how to make money online is a niche. So that's just a specific group of people. And what you want to do is narrow that down. So I'm going to get into a little bit of that with you today and be thinking about this. I want you to get out a piece of paper, first of all, and a pen, and be ready to take some notes on this. So basically, there are two things that people experience in life, and that is pain and that is pleasure. Okay, and a lot of people are looking for a way to ease their pain or to bring them pleasure. And a lot of the times, if you end up having a product or service, you want to look at helping that person either solve their pain, or bring them pleasure. So that's two main things that people have that you can focus on. And when you're choosing a niche, literally there are thousands of subjects and products and everything you can get into. However, there are only a few that really are worth getting into and are profitable, because you don't want to get into a niche that's going to just not bring you any income whatsoever. That's not going to be really great for you or for your business. So you want to find something that's going to work. And what I tell people is you want to find something that you're really interested in, that you have a passion in. Because if you don't, you are going to find yourself not motivated enough and not wanting to move forward when those bumps in the road come up in your business. If you are not passionate about what you're doing, you're going to end up struggling, and a lot of times you'll end up just quitting altogether. So you want to find something that you are really interested in and you are really passionate about, and maybe you already have some expertise in that area. And if you don't, if you find something that you're interested in and that's you find it's very profitable for your business, but you don't have a lot of expertise in, that's okay, because we have, as entrepreneurs, we go out of our way to learn these specific subjects. So you will have to do some extra research. But the thing is, when you get into a niche, what I'm going to tell you right now, there are four major categories that are extremely profitable right now. And that is the subject when it comes to money, health, relationships, and general interests. Now, what I mean by general interests is things like pets, music, sports, different things of that category. Now, under money, it could be helping somebody make money online. It could be showing people how to do trading, options trading. Health can be anything like, for example, stress management, helping women lose weight, maybe a specific nutritional plan. I mean, there's a whole bunch of categories underneath these, so they're very broad, and you can get really narrowed down, but this just gives you an idea of the 4 major categories that you will want to focus on, okay? So number 1 is you want to, like I said, you want to make a list of 10 different interests and passions that you have. Write them down on a piece of paper. Keeping in mind those 4 categories, okay? Write down something, at least 10 items, or 10 subjects, I should say, that would be of interest to you in those 4 categories, okay? And then what you want to do, the idea is to find something that you really like. Now, number 2 is you want to make sure there's enough interest there. So what I ask, and I have done this myself when I first started, I did that, and I did my own research, but there are tips and tricks you can use, and I won't get into all of those today because there is more detail to this. I'm just doing a general idea so you kind of get the picture here. The way you can find it, if there's enough interest in your niche. So in other words, say you get into relationships, you want to get something into relationships, and you want to help maybe teens and help teens in stress management. That could be that actually would fall into health, though, if you're helping them with that. But if you get into something, you want to make sure you get on the internet and do some research to find out that there's enough interest in it. And if there's not, that's going to be a key right there to tell you that it's not going to be profitable enough. If you just see no interest on the internet whatsoever about it, then you need to change, switch to a different subject. So how you do that is you can search through Quora. You can also find different forums. So if you say, for example, I know dog training comes to my mind first, I don't know why, but that is a very popular niche. But just say it wasn't, and just say you didn't know about it and you did some research. What you can do is go onto Quora, type in some things about dog training. You can go into forums and related to that niche on dog training, and see what kind of, go into those forums and read the questions, find out what people are interested in dog training, for example, and then you can kind of go from there. You can kind of tell from there if there's going to be a big interest in it or not, okay? And you can do that with all the subjects. Anything you are interested in, go on to Quora, go on to forums, type in your interest in there and just see what comes up and do some research. You can also go to Google AdWords. It's a keyword planner. It's free. You can go in there and find out specifics. They give you numbers and everything on that particular, whatever niche you're interested in, and that'll give you an idea of how many people are actually doing it. Now, one thing I want to caution against, don't get overwhelmed with doing this. Because if you're in a very popular, you pick a niche and it's very popular, and you get on the internet and there's just all this stuff, and you see website after website after website of all this stuff. Don't get overwhelmed about the competition, okay? Because you hear a lot nowadays where people say, oh, it's too competitive, I'll never, I'm new, I'm never going to be able to do this, I'm just going to drown in the competition and no one will ever notice me. Don't worry about that, okay? Because the internet is so huge, and yes, there is a lot of competition out there. Yes, there is. But every person is different, and that's where we need to lead with our story. Remember that if you listened before to I think it was a while back I did this, but on another Big Tip Friday, I had talked about leading with your story and being authentic and being yourself and being open with people and starting to build relationships with them. That right there will set you aside from everybody else, okay? So don't worry about that. Number 3 is you want to figure on an ideal problem that you can solve, okay, in that niche. So when you have your list of 10 topics, what you want to do is start to narrow those down, okay? You want to narrow them down a little bit. Like I had said, if you chose health for, if you decide you wanted to go into something related to health, maybe you chose something fitness for women, okay? And then in that niche, you could also narrow it down a little farther and maybe specific exercises for women, fitness for women. So you see what I kind of mean. You can narrow it down. Don't go too narrow though, because you don't want to get so specific that you get down to a little tiny bit and then there's no interest. Okay, so you just want to narrow down once or twice. Get that idea, write them down, play with the ideas. And yes, it does take some research. I'm not saying it's not going to take some work. Spend about an hour or so, or longer if you need to, and just really sit down with yourself in a quiet place. Do that, write down your 10 things that, the 10 interests that you have, narrow them down a little bit. And then what you want to do is go with your gut feeling. After you've done your research online and you found out that there is an interest in it, narrow it down to which one you are more interested in. And that right there will give you your key advantage with that competition, because the thing is we all have different expertise, we all have different things to bring to the marketplace, and we definitely want to do that. So do your homework. Another great thing here is go to ClickBank. They have some really great resources for finding out about your niche. I've done that. You can just go into ClickBank, browse the products, and they have a category section. Just go and browse the products and look up your particular niche and see what you find. So that's a really good way to do that. And if you find a decent number of products in ClickBank, that is a really good sign that your niche will be profitable. Okay, now if you go in there, obviously, and you type in something and you see very little about it, and even in your other research, that's an indication that it's not going to be very profitable, or it's not that popular. So you definitely want to do that homework. And I know this is very general. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I actually have done a book, my very first book, called A Newbie's Guide to Making Red Hot Cash Online. I have not put it up on Facebook or anything right now, but I do have it out there, and I actually go into specific detail on how to choose your niche, exactly what I've done to do that, what tools to use to really get narrowed down on finding that niche of yours. So if you have interest in that, write, in the comments, make more info in the comments. Just put that in the comments below if you want more info, and I can just send you, I can set that up for you. But I do have a book out there that really is great for helping newbies, beginners and stuff, really to help them pick their niche, and then I go from there on the other steps that you need to do. But again, this is my Big Tip Friday, so these are just some small tips to get you started, and I hope it's helped. I know sometimes it can be really overwhelming when you try to find a niche for yourself, but if you do that, it's going to be a really good start for you, and you are going to be able to just start really focusing on that and getting your business going really well. So okay guys, well, I'm going to close out for now. I know I've been talking on here for probably about 15 minutes or so. I try to keep my videos short, but I end up going on other things, and because I really love giving you guys value. I love giving you guys information that can help. So next week, I want to go into talking about not letting the holidays damper your business. And I know it's a bit early because we are November. Next week actually is the beginning of November. And what I found is people in November and December have a tendency to really kind of clam up and close up and not really want to do business, and they're just, oh my gosh, I have the holidays, and they get so overwhelmed. I just want to go into that to not let your business suffer because it's November and December and we're having Christmas and Thanksgiving, and you want to keep going strong to the end of the year. So I'll get into that in more detail next week. I'm going to close out for now. You guys have a really good weekend and make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.